Hello, can you guys hear me? Check, check. Hey, hey. Let's see here. All right. Hello, what's up, everybody? Thank you for bearing with me. I was just kind of getting things started. I'm not going to be on super long today, but I do just want to kind of go over a few things. Um, we are going to be working on a new track today. Um, that's new to me, and I've already got it set up for the most part. Um, so this track, I got it from Cambridge Music Library, where you can get free multi-tracks to practice on. It's by a band called Human Radio, and the song is called You, Me, and the Radio. I've already got this session set up for the most part. We've got our tracks laid out right. We've got our drums. We got everything routed already. We've got our drums, um, our snare mics going to the snare bus, uh, our kick and toms, and our snare bus going to the shell bus that I've got here. Let me pull it up on over here. And then we've got our hi-hat overheads in our rooms going to our ambient room bus, and there is a tambourine, so we've got that routed to our percussion. All of these are routed to our drum bus, which is right here. And then we've got our two bass tracks going to our bass bus. We've got a couple different guitar tracks, and what it looks like is they've got it looks like there is a couple different guitar tracks, but they have two mics on each. So this is one guitar, this is another guitar part, you know, third guitar part, fourth guitar part, and fifth guitar part. So essentially what we're going to do is we'll probably end up kind of balancing them together. We've got our organ, then our keys. Those are going to our keys bus, our main vocal, and then a couple of different background vocals. So with that, let's kind of get started. And so to get started, one thing that I want to do is I just want to put these into their own bus. One of the things that I've talked about in our previous live streams is if you have two tracks that are the same thing, and if you start processing one different from the others, you're going to introduce some phase issues. And so to kind of keep that, what I like to do is bust them together and then process the bus. And if I need to do a little bit of tweaking on one track, that's okay. But if you want to do a lot of tweaking, I would suggest just doing it on the bus. So let's go ahead and do this. New track. And you know what? Actually, let's do this. This might be a little bit easier. Let's move to new folder. Guitar 1. And we want to use a routing folder. We want to route tracks to the new folder. Guitar 1. Move to new folder. Guitar 2. Guitar 3. Four. And so these are labeled guitar 5 and guitar 6. So we'll leave those by themselves for now. And then when we get a chance to listen, we will route those if we need to. So let's just take a second. And then we need to route these to the guitar bus. Perfect. All right. So let's take a listen. I don't have any processing. All I've done is some gain staging just to make sure that everything's kind of hitting around -6. That's kind of where I like to keep mine. Some people like more, some people like less. It just depends. Let's see here. One second. All right, cool. So let's take a listen to the song. I haven't even really set fader balances or anything like that. It is all just the tracks right now. Again, I don't own any of the rights to this music. I got it off of Cambridge Music Library. It's a great resource if you want to learn how to mix. There's a lot of things on there. So yeah, let's take a listen. Hold on. All right. So we got a pretty good idea on the song. So one thing I do want to do is I want to make sure that all of my groups are set up right. And essentially what that's just going to help me kind of be a little bit quicker setting stuff up. So we are going to do drum group. Let's do snare, because once we get this level, we are going to be adjusting once we get the blend of the snare top and the snare bottom right, we're going to be adjusting the bus and not the individual tracks in the bus. Same with the overheads. All right, so we're going to add those. And then let's go ahead and add the bass. Add the guitars. And so for this, we're just going to add the buses. And then let's see here, main. Backup. And then another thing that I want to do is we're going to select all of our audio tracks. That's everything with actual audio on them, not buses, not routing folders, just the tracks. And then we're going to group those, call it all audio. And that's going to be A. And I'm just going to double check, make sure I don't have anything in there that I don't want. Cool. So essentially what that group is for, we're going to turn the rest of these off. We are going to, so that way we can, let me hide this real quick. So the way that I like to get my fader balance right is kind of find a energetic part of the song where it seems like everything's hitting. Let's go into grid mode. Let's do this so we can kind of get a better idea. And then let's just play that part. Seems like it's got a little bit of everything going on. All right. And so now what we are going to do is we're going to kind of just get our fader balance set, and we're going to try and make it sound like a good song without any plugins. We're going to set our fader levels and our pans, and that'll get us a good starting spot. So we're going to start with the kick. Let's turn off the group. Okay. doing that. Routed my snare to the wrong. It made its own snare bus. That sounds much better. All right. All right, and so now what we're going to be doing while we're going through is we're going to check how they've did the left and right. Sometimes some engineers do it from audience perspective, some do it from drummer perspective, so we're just checking where that sits. Sounds like it's from... Yeah. Looks like it's from drummer's perspective. The way I'm checking that is because it sounds like the toms are going high to low from left to right in this fill. Go. Give it some drive but not overpower it with the tambourine. The bass a little bit. Guitar, the M80 definitely a little brighter. I think that's a ribbon mic, and that's a little bit dirty and a little bit grungier. I like that with it. Kind of get it. Separation. These up. Let's hard pan those. are the same. These are the same. So let's go ahead and send these to a bus. Said we like to do folders. Routing folder.
In space with perfection in stereo. Anywhere we go, it's you and me and the radio.
All right, so it looks like these are, it's probably, I'm guessing a U47 and a 251 is what these are. We'll just kind of spread it.
To the great divine, now we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio. Blowing down the mountain, now there's no way we're going slow. Perfection in space, perfection in stereo. Anywhere we go, it's you and me and the radio.
Let's see here.
You and me and the radio.
Let's listen to this part. There we go. They're affecting pretty well. Cool. So what we just did was we set up our faders essentially to where we like the sound with things where they're at without having to do too much. We've got kind of our pan set right where we want everything. And so now let's see here. Let's kind of clean up the drums a little bit. So the first thing that we're going to do is I've got this silencer plugin. It's from Black Salt Audio. It's a killer drum gate. It's super easy to dial in. You click your drum. So there's kick, snare top, snare bottom, and toms. And then you just kind of dial in your threshold. So let's go ahead and expand this a little bit so we can see. There we go. We kind of want it as high as we can without getting any bleed. Kick's a bit easier because a lot of times people hit the kick a lot more consistent. You don't get a lot of ghost kicks in theory. All right, so snare. I also want to see if there is any, because sometimes one of the reasons why I don't always like putting gates on snares is because sometimes people will do like rim shots and that won't always trigger the gate. Or like snare rolls, they don't hit it as hard. Sounds like this drummer is pretty consistent with it. All right, let's see here. I think that's doing a pretty good job. And we'll just drag this down. Sounds good to me. Let's see, listen. All that that ride and everything, that's coming from the toms.
Hey, the radio.
Let's move this over. There's that. Let's expand them so we can kind of figure out where some tom fills are. See here. Let's find a full tom fill. All right, let's listen to this. So let's listen to it.
Let's rock, now we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio. Blowing down the mountain, now there's no way we're going slow. We're a vector in space, we're perfection in stereo. Rolling down the wind, you and
So what we did was we threw some gates on there on the drums. I don't like to use gates a whole lot. It's just, excuse me, just kind of not my thing. So I've got the kick. We got the gate on the kick, the snare top and snare bottom, and the tom, high tom and low tom.
Let's rock now, we're rolling down the radio.
All right.
Blowing down the mountain now, there's no way we're going slow. We're a vector in space, we're perfection in stereo. Rolling down the wind, you and me and the radio. Let's rock now, we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio. Blowing down the mountain now, there's no way we're going slow. We're a vector in space, we're perfect.
All right. So now that we've got that, usually, excuse me, one of the things that I start working on first is once I put, whatever gates and filters that I need to on here. Once I do the gates, then I like to do filters across all the channels that I think need them. And then we'll do a little bit of subtractive EQ. Then we'll do a little bit of, hold on. We'll do some subtractive EQ, some kind of cleaning up a little bit, kind of take care of some of the masking, turn the toms from sounding like cardboard boxes to actual drums, and then clean up the guitars. There's a bit of masking in kind of the high mid range from what I'm hearing. Things are a little too bright and a little bit too clingy. And then once we do that, then we'll add some, once we EQ stuff, then we'll add some compression. And then we'll kind of add some stuff to taste, some saturation, some different things. I would like to kind of go over my master bus, and this is currently what everything's hitting just the way it is. This is what you guys are hearing. First off, I've had this Waves Abbey Road mastering, TG mastering. It's really not doing a lot. It's the limiter is just barely hitting.
Let's rock now, we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio.
I just think it adds a lot of character without having to do a lot.
Let's rock now, we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio.
Doing a little bit.
Blowing down the mountain now, there's no way we're going slow. We're a vector in space, we're perfection in stereo. Rolling down the wind,
All right.
you and me.
So I've got this Abbey Road going. Then I've got this Hitsville EQ. I like the way it sounds just inserted. As we go on, I might kind of adjust this a little bit. Then I've got an API 2500.
Let's rock now, we're rolling down the
Kinda
road,
doing-
you and me.
We're kind of doing about 1 to 2 decibels of compression. I must have forgotten to set this. There we go.
Let's rock now, we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio.
Usually I like to do a little bit slower attack and a quicker release on my bus processing.
Let's rock now, we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio.
Barely hit.
Going down the mountain now, there's no way we're going slow. We're a vector in space, let's rock now, we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio. Going down the mountain now, there's no way we're going slow.
Cool. So yeah, we got the API 2500 on the mix bus. And then we've got this Struder tape machine just to add a little bit of saturation and warmth. And then I've just got this decibel plugin that I use. And it kind of just is a metering plugin.
Let's rock now, we're rolling down the road, you and me and the radio. Going down the mountain now, there's no.
So yeah, that's my master chain. Not master chain, that's my bus chain that everything hits. Let's see here. There we go. All right, let's see here. I want to check this. So yeah, I think that's all the time that we have for today. So just to kind of go over everything that we did today. I already have the session set up, so what we did was a little bit of finish up some routing. We set the fader balance. We set some pans to kind of put everything in its own space, make things even clean, make things clean and where they need to go. And then I added some gates on the drums. And that is it. I know today wasn't as long as I usually go. I got a couple things I gotta get taken care of this evening, and I realized I hadn't streamed in a few days because of work. So I just wanted to jump on and do a little streaming for y'all. Let me know what you think. Like and comment, subscribe. Give me a follow. Let me know which plugins you use, which songs you're working on. I'd love to check them out.